I don't mean to sound elitist, but the culture begins at the top.
Yeah.
In any organization. And if there's not a commitment from the leader of that organization to create the kind of culture, look, at the end of the day, we're seeing this great resignation, people leaving and all of this going on. And I think part of that is because today's generation is searching for a culture and searching for leaders where they get what the mission is and they get where they're making a difference. I had a financial advisor tell me recently that he had a person on his staff leave because, quote unquote, she didn't want to spend her life just serving rich people. And he was talking about how that was a generational thing and that. And I said, it's not that she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to work for you. And he was kind of taken back by that. And I said, you haven't told her the story of how she's not there serving rich people. She's helping people retire with dignity.
Yeah.
And she's helping build wealth that they will then contribute to the causes in your community that she believes in. And you haven't connected the dots so that she sees herself more than just somebody serving rich people into somebody who is creating experiences that will lead to more significant philanthropy and more pleasure in retirement and better. You haven't connected the dots. And until you do that with story, until you do that with narrative, then you're not creating the employee experience that will then convert into the client experience that you desire to deliver.
It's such a good reminder. I know our advisors that work with us have heard me say it at least 100 times, but so I gave a quick story. I was in Florida with one of our advisors, Bill, and good friend, we're just hanging out, and he takes his phone call and he's like, hey man, I'm sorry, I got to take this real quick. He's like, it's one of my clients. And he came back and her husband had literally passed away like 6 hours before that phone call. And so she got through it. She always said, my husband just said, you're the first person I'm supposed to call. And that, I mean, I almost get emotional still thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And he just said, like, you'll take care of me and make sure everything's all right. And I told Bill, I'm like, please tell me Monday when you go into the office, you're going to share that story with your team,
Absolutely.
right? That's
Absolutely.
really what you do, right? Is that they know they're going to be taken care of when something bad happens, and they face a lot of that. So I think just any advisor who's listening to this who may not have heard me say that before, the more you can share those stories with your team and help them understand why you're doing what you're doing is a great thing, so they don't think they're just, taking care of rich people all the time. It really is one of the most noble and one of the professions that I think can have the biggest impact on someone.
Isn't it fascinating that, first of all, there are some people that don't tell stories. They don't understand the importance of narrative. But secondly, and maybe this is even more prevalent, you've triggered the thinking here, Cody, is that, I think a lot of times we think our clients or our prospects need to hear that story, but we don't tell it to our team.
Yep.
We assume they get it through osmosis or they're hanging around. They get it. They understand. But if we don't tell it internally, because there's the other thing, that is such a powerful and compelling story. Everybody on that advisor's team not only needs to know it, they need to be relating.
Yeah.
Right. And so if we're not telling the story to our own team, then we can't expect them to benefit from it, but also we can't expect them to share it. If you can't share a story of which you're unaware.